What's up, everyone? Welcome back to That's Geeky AF with myself, AF, where we do comic book live action adaptations, just explanations, anything geeky, anything pop culture, trailers, TV, movies, you name it. I will try my best to do it all, and that's what I do over here. And you might have noticed that a couple of days ago I uploaded a quick short of my non-spoiler reactions to the Fantastic Four First Steps, and this one will be very much spoilers included, and just all of my thoughts and my thinking about the direction that they went and where they've left off with everything else coming up in the future of the MCU within the next year or two. I'll also be deep diving into a few of the Easter eggs. Not that there were a lot of them, but the ones that were included I think were done really, really well. It didn't feel like they were forced because they integrated it so well into the narrative. But without further ado, let's get into what I actually thought about this movie, spoilers included. This movie was insanely visually well done. The writing was good. Everything in terms of the character representation, it was done so well. Sue, Ben, Johnny, Reed, they were all given the spotlight. Even though I think Ben could have gotten some more of the spotlight, I feel like he was very much underutilized. I think it was done well. I think we've seen the Fantastic Four origins so many times over the last 20 years that it wasn't needed to show the origin story again. And I think that the montage that they did in terms of having an origin sequence about how they got their powers, they went up, they were astronauts, they went up into space, something happened with a cosmic wave and they got caught in that storm and basically just changed their DNA and they ended up getting powers, and we see them landing on Earth, Ben just like shattering the door, opening it up so that they can escape, and that was it. And I think that was so well done. I think it didn't feel like we needed to know what happened before, because a lot of us have that prior knowledge of how the Fantastic Four got their powers, and they didn't need to use extra runtime within the movie to sort of get to that point. So I think that was a very good creative choice. I think Matt Shakman did that one really well. And then in terms of just the characters for this movie, Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, so good. I mean, there were a couple of moments where I was trying to like sort of distinguish between Pedro Pascal and Reed Richards, but the more the movie went on, I'm seeing how I can distinguish between the two. I think Pedro portrayed Reed very, very well. I don't think that there was anybody else who could have done it as good a job. Ben Grimm, Evan Moss Backrack was so good. There were times when, because I'm a huge Bear watcher, so I'm always going to like see his character or hear his character whenever he speaks. But I think he did really well. He was sort of the support mechanism in this group, in this family, the type of guy that would come around and like put his arm around you, and you'd notice when you're going through something. He was the one that immediately knew that Sue was pregnant at the beginning of the movie. I like the fact that they made him like soft of heart, even though he has a very hard exterior. So that was a very good juxtaposition for Ben Grimm. I feel like he could have had more scenes just to dive deeper into his character. He's the only one that, in terms of his appearance, he's not the same person he used to be. Everybody sees him differently. He wants to be a human being again. He wants to be integrated into society as a human being. He keeps on having these like memories and walking down streets alone and looking at pictures and videos of how he looked before the accident. And there's a lot to unpack over there. There's a lot that he's going through that nobody else is aware of. There's definitely so much more that they could have done with his character. And I hope that down the line we'll get more Ben Grimm scenes. This is only the beginning of his journey. I'm leaving the two main characters, I'm going to put it that way, for Last, Johnny Storm and Stu Storm, they were the standouts of this movie for me. Johnny was so damn good, and I mean, everybody hated the fact that Joseph Quinn was cast in this role because people just didn't see him as Johnny Storm. They didn't see him as the Human Torch. He was. It's so difficult because I feel both of them were really, really good. There were times where he could have been the MVP of this movie, and there were times where Vanessa Kirby's Sue Storm could also be the MVP of the movie. And they both had really, really strong and important parts within this movie scattered throughout. The fact that Johnny Storm is also a smart person, he is also an astronaut, and this movie gave him that opportunity and that platform to be who everybody knows he should be. He's not just a pretty boy. He can solve things. He was the one that ended up finding out the entire story about Charlotte Ball and where she came from and what actually happened to her, why she serves Galactus, why she's the herald of Galactus. It was done in the best way possible. Sue Storm, Vanessa Kirby, she's so strong and independent as a character. She steals any scene that she's in. She knows every member of this group inside out, and you just feel this like warmth and strength of this character and how she can dominate any situation she's in. She was the one that basically remedied the relationship between the Fantastic Four and all of the citizens after their meeting with Galactus, after he'd sort of screwed it up in a way by telling them that you wanted the baby in return for not like destroying Earth. And the moment you say something like that, people are going to immediately say like, why didn't you give up the baby? Sue immediately knew what to do from that moment on. She knew that we have to find a way to get them back on our side, and we have to like say it in the best way possible. We have to like appeal to their humanity in a way. And she did that by speaking about her and Johnny's father and how he was a single dad after their mother died, and how he had to raise them on his own, and just like appealing to that humanity. It was such a clever thing to do, and she, in my opinion, is the leader of this group. She knows what's best for this team. And Vanessa Kirby, man, just like give her the world. Make her front and center. She is amazing. She is going to rule the MCU for the next 10 years or so, or however long the Fantastic Four are going to be present over here. It was so good. Like they fleshed out these characters as much as they could. Bob Ingram, like I feel like his character could have been fleshed out a bit more. I'm extremely happy with what they've done within this movie. I said the writing was good. The visuals were spectacular. The scene of Shalabal surfing in the wormhole after she's chasing the Excelsior, the spaceship, that's an Easter egg as well, named after the catchphrase of Stanley, Excelsior. So while she's like surfing that wormhole and like dodging all of the energy beams that's being shot at her, that was arguably the moment of the movie for me. It was visually stunning, and I think in general, like the visuals of this movie were so good. It's probably the most visually stunning movie of the MCU. I think Eternals comes a bit close to it, because Eternals, as average as the plot was, as average as the writing was, the visuals were really, really good. But yeah, this movie, really, really good visuals. But I do have a bit of a qualm with what happened towards the end. Like the third act was good, but I just felt like I needed a little something extra with regards to the build up to Doomsday. And I'm saying that because Doomsday happens next year, December 2026 is when Avengers Doomsday releases. So I'm just going to go quickly to the post-credit scene, and the post-credit scene is Doctor Doom in the lounge area of the Baxter building. He's essentially playing with Franklin, and his mask is off and Franklin is touching his face. A theory that I've heard, and that's from my friend TJ Zwarich over at the Agents of Fandom podcast, he said, what if Franklin is healing Doom's face. So he's going to heal it and he'll have a good face afterwards. But what if he had a previously different face, and then in the process of Franklin healing it, he gives him Robert Downey Jr.'s voice? So it's not that Dr. Doom is going to be Tony Stark, because we know that he's going to be Dr. Victor Von Doom, but maybe he had a previously different face, and then after Franklin sort of heals it, it becomes Robert Downey Jr., Tony Stark's face, and that's how we get the same actor playing that role. But my hunch is that he probably won't be Dr. Doom moving forward after Doomsday. I think we'll get Robert Downey Jr. in Doomsday, but a different Dr. Doom in Secret Wars. But I'm going a bit away from my point right now. And my point is that we have this movie coming out at the end of next year. Up until then, next we have Eyes of Wakanda in a few weeks' time. That has no relation to Doomsday. After that, we have Marvel Zombies that comes out around Halloween time. Absolutely, or as far as we know, no relation to Doomsday. After that, we get Wonder Man in December. No relation to Doomsday, or I can't see any relation to Doomsday within that show. After that, we get Daredevil Season 2. That's in March next year. That's very much street level. I can't see a relation to Doomsday or tie into Doomsday in any way. Thereafter, we get Spider-Man Brand New Day. And they are selling this as a street level movie. They are selling this as Peter Parker dealing with crime on the street and street level villains. We have the Punisher coming in over there as well. So I can't see any multiversal shenanigans happening within that movie. Maybe in a post-credit scene, maybe towards the end, we get Fantastic Four ship that we saw in Thunderbolts in the post-credit scene. Maybe we see that actually coming to fruition and then landing on Earth in the post-credit scene of Spider-Man Brand New Day. But we know that Tom Holland, or as far as it's reported, Tom Holland is not in Doomsday. So I can't imagine the movie ending that way. But maybe it is in a post-credit scene where they land on Earth, and that's the whole Thunderbolts post-credit scene happening. After that, we get the Punisher special presentation. Once again, street level stuff. I can't see any tie into Doomsday. So that's about, what, 6 projects until Doomsday, and majority of them, or probably all of them, won't be tying into that big movie. So what sort of lead-in do we actually have to this huge movie that Marvel is banking almost everything on? And that's the only sort of like gripe or qualm that I had with this movie, especially after that post-credit scene of the Thunderbolts. I just thought that they could have paid that off maybe in a post-credit for this movie. Like, you had the mid-credit scene with Doom and Franklin. Then in the post-credit scene, you could have had something about what's happening with that ship that comes through from the Thunderbolts post-credit scene. But other than that, I didn't have any other qualms with this movie. I think it was really well done for an origin movie. It gave me feels from phase 1 of the MCU in terms of how you like start building a character up, and these are 4 different characters. So the team as one becomes sort of one character, and you're building them up. You're getting the audience to love them. You're getting the audience to get to know them. So I think that was very well done. And yeah, there were some really cool Easter eggs. Like I mentioned, the Excelsior spaceship named after Stan Lee's catchphrase. The Pan Am building that went down into Subterranea. That Pan Am building, which is now known as the MetLife building in real life. That's actually where the Avengers Tower is in the mainline 616 continuity. So that was pretty cool, that was front and center. We get some shout outs of the villains that are present in this Earth 828 universe. That's the Mad Thinker and Red Ghost and his super apes. We get the Wizard as well. We also see the 1994 Fantastic Four in a small little cameo when people are like thanking and fanboying over over the Fantastic Four in that montage. That was pretty cool. And then I think the ones that like was very on the nose is the Latveria stuff at the Future Foundation. All the countries are there, but the Latverian seat is always open. Nobody's sitting there. So where is Victor Von Doom? Like, what is he doing, and why have they not really spoken about him during this movie? They haven't acknowledged the sort of relationship between Reed and Victor, or maybe they don't even know each other in this universe. Maybe they've yet to meet each other. So it would be cool to see that relationship explored somehow, or that story arc explored somehow. But yeah, that's all for this video. I gave it an 8 out of 10, I think. You can check my Letterboxd review in the link below as well. Also, just flipping over to the DC side, James Gunn released the high resolution pictures of the murals in the Hall of Justice. So I will be doing a video on who I think every single character is. I managed to pick out already, like without doing any research, on who some of the characters are. But I'm probably just going to do some deep dives into every single character on that list and who they are. Just like try to get to the bottom of what's actually happening over there and what the plans could be for the JSA in the DCU. That's all from me. You can find me at afbarker642 on any of the social media platforms. You can check out all of my previous videos. There's some Ironheart stuff that I did. There's a Wonder Man explanation that I did as well. So with that coming out in a few months' time, I think that sort of introduction video would be really cool to get into. Like this video, share this video, subscribe, comment, let me know if there's any other deep dives that you'd want me to do. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay geeky AF.